Welcome back to the beautiful world that is Napoleon Total War. We have a 2v2. I'm playing as the Prussians. We have Babyface Nelson playing as France. Opposing Babyface Nelson, we have Black Sheep commanding the Prussians. And opposing me we have Counterfact from the Huntsman, Old Guard clan, playing as Britain. I shall go over my army real quick. On my right flank, I've got a Prussian Fusilier and a Musketeer hidden in the forest. I've got 2 more Prussian Fusiliers and 2 more Musketeers over on my right flank. In my center, I have a Foot Guard, a Landwehr militia unit, 2 Lancers, 2 Fusiliers, 2 Musketeers, a Foot Guard. And on my left flank, I have a Lancer, a Musketeer and a Foot Guard that is going to rush for these hills. For Babyface Nelson, we can see that he has brought Chevaux Lancers. These are the Lancer units of France, the cheapest. We have a Polish Legion. I think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 voltigeurs. And we can here see Fusiliers of the Line, Fusiliers of the Line, Fusiliers of the Line. His general is Napoleon Bonaparte himself. You can see him right here. Fusiliers of the Line, and on his left flank he has a Young Guard and 2 Old Guard and 1 Fusilier of the Line. These guys are amazing. Black Sheep has 5 Prussian Fusiliers. We can see that he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Musketeers, 2 militia units, 3 2 Lancers and 1 Ludwig Freikorps, which are just normal standard infantry with a sword. I think they're like hussars. Then we have his general in a Foot Guard unit, and the 8th Life Regiment is of course also in this battle. For Counterfact, I'm gonna press play, see what he's gonna do. He probably has 2 King German Legion Lightfoot and 3 Lightfoot. He has 3 of these Dragoons, very expensive units. He has some King German Legion Foot, Coldstream Guards, King German Legion Foot, Fencibles, Foot Guard, Foot, and probably some more units every here and then. He's brought a normal general staff. My general is Count von Gneisenau, and I probably butchered that name, but it's okay. So, Counterfact. So before we start this game, Counterfact has positioned all his troops over here. He really wants to get to this hill and push this forest, and I thought he was going to spread more out, so I had this little trap over here, but it's not going to work out. I'm going to need all my men over there, so I'm switching all my troops over on this side. Babyface Nelson is moving up as well over here. I charge into the Dragoons, holding them up for quite a bit. They almost lost like 13 men, and I'm just gonna flank out my cavalry, trying to get some other back charges in, whilst Counterfact is firing with his lights into this cavalry blob. Counterfact is gonna pull through. I have these Lancers over here, and these Lancers are gonna countercharge into these Dragoons as well. Dragoons versus Lancers, it's not something you want to do, but if you have like really close up support with infantry, then of course you can be able to do that kind of stuff. Now this Prussian Lancer, it has been in close combat for quite a while, so it is gonna get wrecked right now. Right now we have the Prussian troops incoming, and we have the British troops firing, though they're not really in the forest, and I'm in the forest, so I quite have the advantage over here. I'm gonna run up my Landwehr, kinda as a meat shield, but it is gonna get wrecked. We still have cavalry fighting going on. There are 2 infantry units for Britain up on this ridge. I have a Musketeer over here as well, and I've got a Foot Guard flanking, and he's now charging downhill into my Foot Guard, and that's not really good. I don't have them squared as well. They're just plowing through. I'm gonna square with these units, and I'm probably gonna pull back with my lights as well. And as you can see, Counterfact has a really nice formation, and he is gonna move up and try to shoot at these squares, all these bunched up units. This gives me the time for me and Babyface Nelson to try and conquer the high ground. Babyface Nelson is gonna send up a Lancer, forcing Counterfact into squares. so I can fire at it freely with my musketeers and with my foot guard that's coming up. Finally, reinforcements have arrived, and I'm gonna try and push the left flank of Counterfact a little bit, so that he isn't gonna pressure this side anymore, like really hard. So Counterfact missing a square with the King German Legion already. Well, basically the unit is dead, and this unit is in a square and is gonna get shot at. So this is really good for us. We're basically now winning the high ground. Over on Babyface Nelson's side, he has been pushed back off this kind of ridge. I kind of missed the fight over here. But right now he's just holding them. He's charging into the force with cavalry. He should move his infantry right now on this flank. And now Counterfact is finally pulling back because of the damage that these lights are doing. Flanking with a foot guard unit, but so is he with a foot guard unit. So this is pretty bad, I must say. Well, for me that is. He's gonna go into melee, I'm gonna go into a square, I'm gonna target these light infantry. I should have actually targeted these King German Legion light... Oh no, wait, the Lancers is gonna charge the Legion light foot that cannot form a square anymore. So that's gonna be really good for us. We're gonna be able to take the high ground and flank these guys over here. Not too much going on over here. Black Sheep has taken the best position, and Babyface Nelson is just holding him whilst he's supporting me with cavalry over on this side. I am, however, flanking around on this side with a Prussian Fusilier and a Musketeer. A charge from the Fencibles into the Prussian Fusiliers. I shouldn't have gone into square with these Musketeers, but because they're just Fencibles. But in the heat of the battle, I couldn't really distinguish the unit. We have the foot guards tied up in melee into these lancers. My foot guards over here gonna fire at the foot guards in melee. Probably gonna do a lot of damage, but also probably gonna kill a lot of damage of Babyface Nelson, even though they're pretty low. Over here, another cav charge from Babyface Nelson into these lights, forcing them to pull back. This means I'm gonna move forward with basically all my men I have right here, and this is gonna force Counterfact to pull back and leave this little ridge. He's gonna charge with his foot into the Prussian Fusiliers. I'm gonna pull them back, probably square up with the Musketeer as well. Counterfact is moving his general to support the morale on this flank and maybe get some back charges in as well. Counterfact is just really staying here until the last man. Well, until the very last moment, because if he's gonna continue like this, it is gonna end up really, well, it's gonna end up being really bad for him. We have Babyface Nelson charging into the general, and I'm gonna focus fire on... Wow, what? I don't focus fire on the general? This is a great mistake by me. If I should have fired at the general and I would have killed the general, all these units would probably have routed. So Counterfact isn't in a retreat. We have won the hill, but Black Sheep is now sending forward a Prussian Fusilier and a Musketeer upon the hill, and it's gonna start firing at us. We don't have any cavalry units to counter it, and the Polish Legion is just probably gonna get wrecked by this volley.
Sir, our general is under attack.
Counterfact is pulling back. I probably should have attacked this part of the map, but then again, I did not had a really good look at these units. He's got... This is a Fencible unit. I thought it was a line unit, so this is a full Coldstream Guard, and this is just a King German Legion foot of 44 men. So I think I really could have pushed this actually, and I should have, because that would give us an extreme advantage. I would have cleaned this up. Counterfact would have run these over. I probably would have beaten those as well, and then it was basically a 2v1 Babyface Nelson and me against Black Sheep. But it's not what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna sit back in this forest, and I think I should have abandoned this forest, and I think I should have gone up on this hill, because right now Black Sheep has taken control of this ridge, of this position. Counterfact has cleared up this left flank using his general, which is very low, and these foot guards. So he lost a foot, and I basically lost 2 units for for nothing. There's just some damage done to his general and that's it. Though I wanted to engage counter-effect in the forest, but Black Sheep continued to sending troops over on this side of the ridge, and so it is really difficult to decide whether you want to attack a solid position, but you're sure you can take it because you're flanking around with two very strong units. But if you commit to this and suddenly Black Sheep switches his attention with, I think, 1 or 2 or 3 units towards me, it's gonna end up being really bad for me. So at this point I didn't really know what I had to do. I was preparing an attack to take this forest, but you can see that Black Sheep, he's bringing up his militia unit, he's switching over his attention over here. He sees that I'm preparing this, and they probably are communicating with each other as well. Getting a great volley on these foot guards from counter-effect. But yeah, so he notices that I'm preparing for an attack, and counter-effect knows it. So he is gonna try and separate my forces as far as possible, so that Black Sheep can launch a full-scale attack on my remaining troops over here in the forest. And I have a lot of troops left, but most of them are pretty damaged, and I don't really have anything to counter the cavalry really, because if I come any further up on this ledge, I'm gonna get shot by these lights, and these cavalrymen can basically run in here for free. I'll have to square before I can even get a shot off. Okay, so counter-effect sending forward his remaining troops in this forest over here. Black Sheep is sending some lancers up over on this ledge, so we know that an attack is coming. It is inevitable. I'm sending forward the meat shield, these musketeer units, to get a couple of shots at these musketeers with my lights. It's not been very useful for me, since I already had the range, so that was kind of a loss, basically, you can say. Now you can see that counter-effect is pulling away from this side. And now I should immediately react and send these guys back, but I'm not doing that. Not too much going on over on this side. We have an attack order onto the Polish Legion. Babyface is gonna form a square. Black Sheep is just gonna pull back. Now they're starting to launch their attack. You can see counter-effect approaching from this side. Black Sheep moved forward. His Prussian Fusilier is probably gonna attack me over here as well, and I'm in a really bad position over here. The only thing I have going for me is that I'm basically sort of into the forest, so that means that their shots will be less accurate, but nonetheless I'm getting charged. I'm gonna have to square up. He's gonna run up his units until the complete edge and is gonna fire at my guys. So I clean up the cavalry, I'm gonna unsquare, and I'm actually gonna go into melee with the foot guard. We have the lights of Britain engaging. They're firing. My guys are firing at the Fencibles, which is not a very good idea. My guys are still squared. I'm now starting to unsquare them, but they're gonna get a great volley off on my guys before they can actually get into melee. My foot guards are gonna return the fire as well, and of course in a shootout the foot guards will win, but in a melee fight they will definitely win. So I'm gonna charge these guys in. Black Sheep sending another cavalry unit into the Polish Legion that was supposed to protect the flank. It's not gonna happen. He's gonna charge the foot guards. He's probably gonna flank around trying to go for the lights or for the general. As you can see right here, he's actually going for this musketeer unit, pulling back my lights. There's my musketeer unit over here that is covering the lights retreat, but the thing is, if it's engaged in melee, it can shoot, and losing guys to Fencibles like this, every kill that a Fencible unit can get is worth it. We've got another musketeer losing against these lights over here. I really should have pulled back these guys. It is I don't know if it was intended, but it was really nice that counter-effect was able to basically separate these two units from the fight. Definitely a foot guard with just a foot and another foot. With the Coldstream Guards over here, we have Black Sheep sending in more and more reinforcements over on this side, trying to break me. For the moment, I'm kind of holding on. I have these Foot Guards fighting for me, but they will end up dying soon, and I just kind of have to go in some sort of full retreat.
Our men are running, sir.
I just keep getting tied up in melee with all sorts of units, which forces me to leave units behind, and that is really bad for me. And all the damage I'm doing is basically to this one meat shield unit of counterfact. Over here I just got 2 units, but I'm just gonna pull them back, and now I am in full retreat. So I basically took this, but well, I also lost it. That's why this is a great replay. It is not the best replay in terms of play and skill, but it is definitely a fun one. It is, well, counterfact is a player that has a solid mind. He is not going to retreat until he knows he is going to lose everything, but he definitely is going to strike back at some point. And those are the most fun games in Napoleon, when you just don't really care and just go in a full-out attack. So over here I'm going to be a little bit bitchy. I'm just going to kite away. But then again, the only damage I'm doing is to these Landwehr units, militia units, so to speak. And that is not really good. Full Guard and my Musketeer unit over here, but they're still zoned out by counterfact. And this is something counterfact has done really well, basically zoning up my units. I think if we speak in terms of manpower, I think I almost killed counterfact, and I think if we were fighting each other again here, I think it would be like the numbers would be evenly balanced, but with the supportive Black Sheep, they're basically just trying to overnumber and kill me, and then they're probably going to turn their attention to Babyface Nelson. Shooting again into these units. They're just defensible, so they're expandable, and I've been shooting too much into defensible this game. I'm trying to connect my Musketeers with my main body of my army. They're gonna get shot for nothing, unfortunately. Right now I should have gone into an engagement with these Coldstream Guards, with my 2 guys over here. Babyface Nelson going into a house in the back. Wow, Babyface Nelson went all around, and Black Sheep didn't notice it and is going into the house, probably gonna get some shots off over here. I think Babyface Nelson should have lined up over here and get like 1 shot on or something, like 1 volley, and then go into the house. Anyway, we've got another charge of Black Sheep going into the forest, so that's gonna be... His charge is not gonna be as effective, and he's gonna run into a square, but nonetheless he forces me to square up, and that allows his guys to move up, and it allows counterfact's guys to move up and basically get a better angle, a better position on me, getting more shots in as well. I am kind of blocking the flank over here with these remaining units, and now like he doesn't need more than his Coldstream Guard to basically leave my Foot Guards over here away. My Foot Guards over here can absolutely do nothing apart standing face to face with this Coldstream Guard. Whoever gets the first shot off is going to lose. There we go. I make the micro mistake. He's firing. I only lost 3 men so far, so all in all it isn't that bad. I expected it to be much worse. Black Sheep with his cavalry going after the Voltigeurs of France, which is a very good idea, but Babyface Nelson is falling back to this house, and the covering fire from this house will most likely kill off this Lancer unit. I'm forced out of the forest, and I'm just gonna spread out my Fusilier, trying to hold up their forces and get some firing shots in from the flank. This Musketeer unit is basically dead, and my Foot Guard over here is isolated. I did not manage to get my full Foot Guard back to my main body of infantry. I'm taking some shots at the Coldstream Guards though, that is really good. I'm actually gonna go into a shootout with them as we speak. Yeah, I'm doing some friendly fire over here. This is really bad. This is like such a big mistake by me. But in the end it doesn't really matter, as I'm lost anyway. I can't pull back forever. Pulling back right now will be useless, because you basically are playing like some sort of dig, Yeah. But nonetheless, you should never fire into the back of your own men. Tying up the foot unit, gonna charge him with my general and focus fire on this fence. No, I'm not gonna focus fire on the defensible unit. I'm gonna ignore the defensible unit because they're inaccurate, so it doesn't really matter if I hit them or not. Gonna charge these foot guards over here with my general as well. I'm probably gonna try and get some flanking shots with it in it with my Prussian Fusiliers, though there's not really too much going on. We have these musketeer unit routing from the Fusiliers. Black Sheep didn't notice it until now, and actually Babyface Nelson did a lot of damage. He's gonna push the fortress with his old guard, a very strong unit. I think he should go into, like, try and go into melee with them. The Black Sheep is gonna pull back out of this forest into a higher position as he sees these young guard and these old guard pushing into the forest. Over here I've basically got only my lights left and my foot guard, which is trying to dwindle down the Coldstream Guard as much as possible down to 56 men. They still pose a big threat with only 55 men, but I'm just gonna try to bring them down under 50. That would be really good, as they're then very vulnerable to cavalry charges from the general. Right now I'm buying Babyface Nelson some time to push on the remaining forces on Black Sheep that he has over here, but I think the damage has been done. I've been defeated. Counterfact is... sorry for that. It's pretty early in the morning. So Counterfact is trying to finish me off with his last unit, going into melee with the foot, of course. Why would you want to risk your old guard for that? But anyways, the Coldstream Guard is down to 44. Exactly what I wanted. Now I hope that Babyface Nelson will at some point be able to get a decent charge into that unit. Landwehr taking up the volleys, and Old Guard going into melee with the Prussian Fusiliers. And even though the Old Guard is pretty low at like 46, once they get in melee, their morale will get higher, and they will just smash these Prussian Fusiliers in melee. They will also probably go into melee with the Musketeers as well, and if they're flanking them whilst the Musketeers are getting shot at, this is going to be really good. Actually, France would now flank around with the Old Guard, trying to get the other Fusilier. But Black Sheep notices that, and he is going to pull back whilst he is enveloping Babyface Nelson over on his right flank. Yeah, shooting in the forest is not really it's not really the best thing to do. I think Babyface Nelson should turn this Fusilier or just pull back towards this forest and create a solid new front and try to fight them there. Because Counterfact and Black Sheep, they still have a lot of forces that need to go into the fight. This blob over here though, very nicely done. Babyface is gonna push up into the forest, is gonna make use of momentum and gonna try to break these guys as they have very low morale. The Fusiliers of the line going into a square, gonna get shot from 3 angles, and it's a massacre. Poor guys. Face Nelson charging in with the Old Guards into the Prussian Fusiliers. Very good choice, as they have very low morale. But the Prussian Fusiliers are gonna go into square, and that's probably gonna save them, as square improves your melee defense and all the good stuff. He's gonna charge Napoleon Bonaparte himself into Prussian Fusiliers. Over here is he. Come on, Napoleon, get them. Getting shot at by multiple Prussian Fusiliers that are squaring up, and now the cavalry is going to fight a square, and that is not really good. Is this going to be the end of Napoleon? We don't know. Napoleon's still alive, chilling with the guys of the enemy, not really paying attention to what he's doing. And so Napoleon, as being the only man left, routes We have him here. The man of the hour. He's gonna run for the hills. Anyway. So with the general of the field but not routed yet, and with an younger unit still alive and an older unit. No, with a younger unit still alive, it's just gonna... These units are basically gonna have a last stand because of the morale buff that the young guard has. But over here this unit lost into melee with the foot guards, and another unit of musketeers went into melee with the voltigeurs in this house. And they're just basically cleaning up. There we go, the unit routes. And now Black Sheep and Counterfact having enough forces left to basically deal with everything that France has left. A last glorious charge. The Coldstream Guards down at 43 men charging into melee with the Fusiliers of the line. And they're actually losing combat. They did not get a counter charge in, and the Coldstream Guards are just so much better. Everybody is just basically charging into melee. The Coldstream Guard winning against 2 units at the same time with only 28 men left. They are so good. These British foot losing against the Young Guard, of course. The Young Guards of France are beasts, but it's just the army losses and probably losing their general that makes them rout so quickly. Also with these shots coming in, the Coldstream Guard basically died of friendly fire, but it doesn't really matter. They have enough units left. I had a light unit coming back trying to harass Black Sheep a little bit, but it is not going to matter. So there we have it. The last units of France are charging in. Nice conclave about the voltigeurs, and they're just gonna get shattered.
All hope is lost, sir. This
There we
battle
go.
is almost done.
So that was the game. Good game to counterfact Black Sheep, Babyface Nelson. This was a really fun game. Let's take a look at the kills and the losses. So I killed the most this battle. I killed about 1,339 men. Prussian Fusilier with 148 kills. Yeah, so I would say good game. See you all next time.